For those of you listening on the pod,
Welcome into hour two. All right, let's get into a little Jayden Reed talk here, Tim. I put an article together earlier. I was combing through the old intrawebs and came across a few different things, and multiple people all of a sudden acknowledging and realizing, damn, Jayden Reed actually was pretty good on deep balls last year. I mean, I know we
Yeah.
were all told that he can't catch a football and he sucks, right?
The
But
bird. The bird is the word, baby.
yeah. So let's just jump into it here. Following a solid but not standout 2024 season, the Green Bay Packers are counting on their young talent to step up significantly in 25. General Manager Brian Gutekunst emphasized the need for urgency after the team's wildcard loss to Philadelphia, though his free agent moves, adding guard Aaron Banks and slot corner Nate Hobbs, seem more practical than aggressive. And you know what, guys? I would rather be practical than aggressive. Go fill the needs instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and going out there for a huge splash signing. Like, you got better on the offensive line by signing Aaron Banks because now Elton replaces Josh Myers. And then, of course, Nate Hobbs steps in with Jair, moving on to the Baltimore Ravens. You got a guy in Nate Hobbs who, if they can get him back to his rookie form, the guy graded out in the 80s his rookie year. You guys know how excited we are for Edgerrin Cooper this year because he graded out at 85 his rookie year. That's so rare. Hobbs did that his rookie year as well. If anybody can get it out of him, it's Jeff Hafley, obviously. Running back Josh Jacobs, who rushed for 1,329 yards, 15 touchdowns in his first year with the team, was vocal about roster needs, stating, quote, "I think we need another DN. I think we need another DB. And I think we need a wide receiver. We need a guy that's proven to be a number one." Goody, however, dismissed such player input, saying, quote, "It really didn't move the needle for me," end of quote. Instead of chasing big names, the front office chose to rely on existing talent, putting players like cornerbacks Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon, edge rusher Lucas Van Ness, and wide receiver Jayden Reed in position to take on larger roles. If you guys will remember here, his rookie year, Jayden Reed graded out a 73.3, and then in 2024, last year, this horrible season people talk about, 71.7 was where he graded out with a receiving grade of 71.6. Reed's potential is undeniable, but his 2024 performance was inconsistent. In week one, he exploded for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns on 7 touches in a thrilling game against Philadelphia in South America. Yet in week 14, he was held to 0 receptions and 0 yards in a critical Thursday night divisional matchup in Detroit. I'm trying to think, was it the Detroit game that he got hurt? There was I think somebody mentioned it in the chat the other night. I can't remember what game it was where he got hurt on a jet sweep, but he got absolutely clobbered. But that may have been the game there. So you guys can check out some of these next-gen stats on your own time there. They're all right here in our Patreon article if you want to give them a look. It's a little bit hard to see online, but Jayden Reed, the big thing that sticks out here, I'm going to get a little bit close because I want to read this off for you. When you look at his short distance, which is under 10 yards, right? Under or at 10 yards, okay? His catch rate over expected was a -6%. His medium from 10 to 19 yards of depth was a -6.3, I believe it is. But then, Tim, when you go to his catch rate over expected for deep balls, 20 plus air yards, plus 32.6%.
Reed down there somewhere, baby.
And the reason I'm bringing this up before we dive into a Christian Watson Chalk Talk game is because we said this in the offseason. Jayden Reed can play Z. I mean, essentially the F in Matt LaFleur's offense is a moving Z. That's what it is. And then when you break down the numbers, you can see Jayden Reed can play down the field. He can track the ball as good as anybody. And we showed the sideline circus catch where Jordan Love throws on the run, an excellent throw, and catch there by Jayden Reed on the sideline. We seen the catch in triple, at least double, partially triple coverage against, I believe it was the Rams deep down the field on that play. We go back to his rookie year against the Saints, the go-ahead drive where Jordan Love hits him in a slot fade and he makes a diving grab 20, 30 yards down the field, whatever it was. So he can stretch the field vertically if you need him to. So the advanced metrics, however, reveal a clear picture. Reed's struggles are not due to lack of talent. According to Reception Perception by Matt Harmon and James Cole, Reed won 67% of his go routes. I repeat, 67% of the go routes he ran, he won. 82% of the post routes he won. Okay. Those are both deep routes for those of you playing along at home. And 73% of the corner routes, another deep route. Okay. So essentially, with the deep routes, the staples of deep route running in Matt LaFleur's offense, the go route, 67% success rate, 82% on post routes, 73% on corner routes. Impressive figures that highlight his ability to dominate downfield. Despite these numbers, head coach Matt LaFleur's offense often deploys Reed like a lighter version of Deebo Samuel, utilizing him in the motion game, screen game, jet sweep game, and misdirection plays while limiting him to 50 to 60% of the offensive snaps.
Not anymore, baby. Not anymore. We got more weapons now, right?
Yeah, and we talked about that, how Jayden Reed, when people said, man, he just fell off at the end of the year, guys, he was banged up and he wasn't getting targeted. That's essentially what happened down the stretch there. We
got a feeling we're going to see Savion Williams in the jet motion a lot more.
No doubt about it.
Bird this year. Yep.
And when you notice too, in the last 5 games, we only came away with one drop that we could account for when we watched the tape, and he was laying out on a 4th down trying to make a diving catch against the Vikings. So the drops were grossly overstated. You still got Warren Sharp spewing this nonsense all over Twitter, but he never backs it up with any damn tape. It's never a, here's the tape, here's what we've seen. It's always just man, Jordan Love had horrible wide receivers. The wide receivers did not play good enough last year. Don't get me wrong. But to sit here and pretend like Jordan was perfect and the receivers were absolutely horrible is it's so silly. It's such a silly conversation. Always, remember what Aaron Rodgers said, there's 3 sides to every story, your story, my story, and the truth. I'm telling you, the people that want to hate on Jordan Love will make it sound as if he's the most inaccurate passer in the history of the game. The people want to hate on the receiver core, Jordan Love was perfect and the receivers were garbage last year. And the reality is, it's a little mix of both.
And the reality is nobody's talking about the fact that Jordan was playing on 1.5 legs for most of the year last year, right?
Exactly. So the Packers receiving core has a reputation in fantasy football and sports betting circles as a group of solid but unpredictable players who take turns producing, often leaving fans and bettors frustrated. That is a real thing, by the way. Don't believe me? Ask Jacob the Beard. Reed's metrics, however, suggest he could break out of this mode. With Christian Watson's sideline, Reed has an opportunity to claim more go and post routes in a run-heavy offense that sets up play-action passes well, especially with quarterback Jordan Love's strong arm. You guys know he led the league in completions of 20-plus air yards, 20 air yards or more last year with 24. In that statistical column, all right? So LaFleur's
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
LaFleur's schematic brilliance paired with Jacobs' dominance on the ground creates an ideal environment for Reed to shine. As rookie Matthew Golden develops, the Packers should lean more heavily on Reed, not by abandoning his versatile role, but by increasing his downfield targets. I repeat, by increasing Jayden Reed's downfield targets to match the elite metrics he's already shown he can produce. So, Tim, we're going into this year, and the reason I put this together, I've seen a couple of those write-ups and like, man, let's kind of dive into this a little bit. We've been talking about 11 personnel is what we're going to run the most, right? And the way I see 11, with Christian Watson starting on the puck, Romeo Doubs X, Jayden Reed F or slot, and then, of course, Matthew Golden in the Z. And then you've got, from a rotational standpoint, Dontavion Wicks coming off the bench. And you're going to be looking to implement Savion Williams into some of those gadget plays we talked about. I feel like Savion can play in the slot. I feel like he can play the X as well. We showed you on Chalk Talk. If you guys didn't watch that, just comb through the channel, go back a few days, you'll see a Savion Williams film breakdown. And you can see they deployed him in the Z, they deployed him in the X, they put him in the slot down in TCU's offense. He also played Wildcat quarterback. He played the sidecar. He did it all. So if you can get him implemented into the offense, you got Dontavion Wicks and Savion Williams coming off the bench, and then you got that 3-headed monster in Romeo Doubs, Jayden Reed, and Matthew Golden, the first-round pick. Now, this is where I got to say, all right, what if we do move Matthew Golden around? If he can pick up those choice routes in the F position and slot sooner rather than later, maybe Jayden Reed is the downfield threat. And here's the other thing. Put Jayden Reed in the 2 in the slot, Matthew Golden in the 1 in the Z, and then you pre-snap cheat motion, Jayden Reed outside to that stack look that we've seen Matthew Golden run at Texas, and we've seen Jayden Reed run that slot fade with. Let Matthew Golden work underneath while they're probably trying to poach. You guys remember the conversation we had yesterday about Nick Saban's defense, right? You get that safety poaching on Matthew Golden because of that 4.29 40, and all of a sudden you got Reed in a mismatch, outside leverage, corner playing inside leverage, outside release with that cheat stack, and you got you a couple go routes. And what you're doing is you're playing into the analytics, the strengths of Jayden Reed's game. Does that make sense, Tim?
It does. And I think what you may have hit on here is that this may be the formula we see throughout the year. These guys are going to be interchangeable. You know, we talk about the versatility. It may be a matchup situation or a down and distance situation, you know, based on how they use their personnel groups. But I am all for increasing Reed's downfield targets. I love it. I think we've got enough depth now that when it comes to that flyer position, like we've got people we can plug and play there. Let Bird just be a receiver, man. I think this is the year to cut him loose. And if we do that, it's going to increase the likelihood that, you know, a guy like Matthew Golden or Savion Williams as a rookie is going to have an opportunity to shine because, you know, these defenses are going to have to account for Bird. And it's going to free things up for our rookies for sure.
Yeah. Coach Lynn says, I want Golden on short motion as much as possible.
Yep.
Also mentioned zipper motion. That's the thing, man. You start to ease him into that, right? And could you imagine Matthew Golden on an end around after they're expecting Jayden Reed to do it? Matthew Golden with 4.29. And you see the way he is such a fluid runner with the football in his hand for sure. And he ain't afraid to run through arm tackles either. So,
and we know how that O-line can get out to the next level, right? I mean, I'd love to see Matt Golden come around the corner with Zach Tom, you know, running out there, laying somebody out. You know, maybe Tuck Norris laying a block out there, and letting Matt Golden do what he does best, which is fly down the field with the football.
Yeah. So again, guys, the whole point of that article was to point out Jayden Reed's success with downfield targets. Okay. So now what I want to do, we've talked about Matthew Golden. We did his Chalk Talk the other night. We talked about his versatility. We've talked about Jayden Reed in this article, right? We've talked about Savion Williams and how he'll be deployed. I think we predicted somewhere around, you know, anywhere from 2 to 450 yards. Nothing crazy, but just a role player in this offense, kind of get his feet wet, right? So now what I thought we would do, Tim, is let's take a look at Christian Watson's film from last year. And listen, we're gonna bask in the glory of Christian Watson and what he did well. And we're expecting him back early November, possibly late October, we're hoping, okay, off the ACL. But the point here is not just to, you know, say this is how awesome Christian Watson is, which I think we would all agree here. I think he's a hell of a football player. But the point for me, Tim, is ask yourself as we're watching these plays and breaking them down, can Jayden Reed and or Matthew Golden do exactly what Christian did on the tape? Because it's easy to, you know, the casuals will say, they're not Christian Watson. They can't stretch the field. They can't do this. They can't do that, right? But then when you go watch the tape, you got to ask yourself, is that truly what Christian Watson was doing in 2024 before he went out with an injury? So let's run it through that filter. Makes sense, Tim?
It does. And I think just real quick on the surface to answer that question, I think the answer would be yes, with an asterisk next to blocking, both pass pro and in the run game. I think Scoot's probably hands down the best blocker out of those three receivers that we just mentioned. And, you know, Matthew Golden, obviously we haven't seen him yet. And I don't anticipate we're going to be asking Matt Golden to do a lot of blocking in this offense. But I would think that's what gives Scoot the edge, his ability to block in the run and the pass game as well.
Yeah, and again, we pointed it out on the Savion Williams Chalk Talk, and we did a write-up on him and showed how he played in the wing position, right, which is essentially, let me show you right here on this tape, it's essentially this spot right here, lining up here or here. Mm-hmm. That's what Christian did for Green Bay, so I could see Savion filling that void when you want to have that bigger body, that bully there at the wide receiver position, kind of playing in that wing.
Even in McCall Hardman, like we talked about, being plugged into that role on occasion, I could see that as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it here with Christian Watson, okay? First play we're going to show, he's going to run a slant, and this is called tosser F flat, okay? So tosser is real simple. It's a double slant route combination, okay? That's tosser. And then F is Jayden Reed is going to come over and he's going to attack the flat. So what you're looking to do here, Tim, is the pre-snap motion is allowing Jordan Love to gather information to determine are they in man coverage or zone, right? Does someone follow Jayden over? And if he does, you're looking for inside release with Christian, hammer the 2 on the slant. If they're playing inside leverage, then guess what that means? The F will have outside leverage because the defense is playing inside leverage. You throw it to the flat as quick as possible. Okay, so again, slant, this is going to be tosser, F flat is the route combination, the concept on the left. So you'll watch the slant from Christian. Now, let me ask you guys this. So it looks like, to me, it looks like man coverage, right?
I was going to say, yeah, followed him over. Is that DeJean there? Who is that? It's
hard to tell. It might be Reed Blankenship, too. There's a couple white boys that look the same out there. All the white people look the same to me. All right, so call me racist. I don't care. So what Jordan's going to read here, he already knows it's probably man coverage. His side adjustment's going here as soon as the ball's snapped. If Christian wins inside, it's just a pitch and catch on the slant, easy 6. If Christian gets jammed and they're showing inside technique, then you throw this ball out here to the flat to Jayden Reed. Let's roll it. Watch Christian. You see he checked to tosser flat right there. Tosser F flat. That's what he checked to. Here we go. Ball snap, little RPO action. Inside release, just hit scoop. Now, ask yourself, Tim, can Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed run that route that Christian just ran?
Yes.
Completely agree. And this
100%.
isn't the dog Christian. This isn't the dog Christian. I'm just simply saying it's easy to go, he's this huge, deep threat, which he is, but it doesn't mean that's how Green Bay used him all year long. You know what I'm saying?
And you're absolutely right. He's also a bigger target when you look at our receiving core, right? I mean, who are the biggest wide receiver targets you have? It's probably Scoot and Dobbs, as far as big body. Now we got Savion Williams in the mix. I could see him running this route as well.
Yep, completely agree. So there you go. The answer to the first question is yes. Both Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed can run that route. All right, now we got the next play is non-fade, all right? And we're going to be running a Hoss F out. So this is real simple. The Hoss is the 1 runs a curl route. The 2 is going to run a go or a non-fade in this case. And then the F is going to run an out, okay? So you got a little spacing concept underneath where Jordan's going to take this actually Malik Willis here. He's going to take the snap and he's going to read safety first. He's going to try to hold the safety in the middle of the field. And if he does so, you love Christian winning on the outside right here, okay? So if he wins on the outside, you throw the fade. Now, if for some reason they're sugaring you, this safety climbs over and they bracket cover Christian, now your eyes are going to go immediately underneath and you're going to be looking to hit the F out or try to hit the curl on a timing route, okay? So again, this is just a Hoss concept, which is a 1 curl, 2 fade with an F out in the number 3, which is Jayden Reed. So again, ask yourself, can Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed run this route that Christian does right here? It doesn't mean they can do it as effective, but can they do it? Christian cooks him. Pretty ball by Malik. Great catch. We've seen Jayden Reed make that type of back shoulder throw. Matter of fact, I think he made that type of catch. I think he made it in the playoffs against the Eagles, if I remember correctly, a back shoulder catch. So we know he can do it. We've seen Matthew Golden do it at Texas. Can he do it at the next level? Now, I like my chances with Christian Watson here as opposed to Jayden Reed or Matthew Golden if you gave me my choice. However, I'm not ruling out that Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed can't run that route,
Yeah, I agree. It's certainly the route for sure. And again, this comes down to the bigger target, right? You're putting the ball up here. Scoot's a big target. You see him go up, time it perfectly, secure the catch. But we just talked about Matthew Golden and his vertical leap and his ability to high point a football, even being a little bit shorter in stature compared to some of these other receivers. And to the same point, we see Jayden Reed do it as well. So I agree, Clayton. I think they're all capable of running this route.
Again, if you say, Clayton, you get to choose. Would you rather have Christian running that non-fade or Jayden Reed or Matthew Golden? I'm taking Christian Watson. However, I'm not looking at this route going, oh, no, who's going to run that? We can handle that. We can handle that.
Great position to be in considering we're not going to have Scoot until at least October. So, it's good that we do have guys that can fill this role.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, on to the next play. This light is burning my retina right now. All right, so now we're going to run a Z climb, okay? A Z climb. So here you're seeing the F, Jayden Reed motioning over to a stack. Remember the Texas tape we talked about, right? So he's going to be lining up behind Dobby over there. And with the climb route, Christian is just going to kind of run. Some people call it, a country climb, deep crosser. I like climb because you can tell these guys they're not set on a step-by-step basis on how they're going to run the route. You kind of find the soft spot as you're climbing up the field running the crosser. So how many times have we seen Jayden Reed run a crosser, Tim, a climb route, right? We've seen Matthew Golden do it on the college tape as well. I have no problem thinking that either of those two guys could run this route right here. Again, Malik Willis lucks up a little bit here because this corner shouldn't be able to pick the ball off, but great job by Scoot cutting in front of him and kind of breaking his ankles. You can see that DB was reading. He thought he had a pick, but Christian cuts right across the face. And again, I don't think Jayden Reed or Matthew Golden would have a problem running that climb route at all.
I don't either. Can you run it back from the top?
Mm-hmm.
Great job by Scoot here. Watch him get skinny and split the coverage. If he runs that a little flat, he's going to run right into trouble.
Yeah,
so,
and that's why we call it a climb, right, Tim?
Yep.
Like you're climbing through traffic right here. You just
Yep.
you know the spots you want to get to.
Absolutely, and it can be tempting, like especially when you're as fast and dynamic as a guy like Watson, or Matt Golden, for example. It's tempting to want to just go with the flow and break that climb, and it's just a great example of Scoot doing what he's supposed to do, and then Malik Willis here hitting him in stride. Great ball. I mean, like you said, it was good defense too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were in a position to try and make a play on that, but Scoot just took it away from them.
Yeah, and Coach Lynn says they call that a navigation route. Love it.
Okay.
All right, so we call it a climb. He's calling it a navigation route.
Yeah, you can see it too off the snap that Scoot kind of bent. He kind of baited him to the inside a little bit.
Yeah,
as he's running the route, he kind of gave him that look like, "Hey, I'm gonna right there," and then boom, right in between you.
Yeah, it kind of sets the mock up a little bit.
Yeah, great patience as a route runner. And you see that with Matthew Golden's tape as well.
Yep, definitely. That's the polished stuff that Jordan was talking about.
Yep.
All right, here he is back in the 2, and he's going to be running an F post. I got him listed as an F here. Now, listen, he's on the line of scrimmage. However, being in that number 2, it gets a little tricky. If you want to call him the X here and say that this is the F, that's cool. We can just kind of call it what it is. But this F post, it's going to be an 86 combo, right, which is going to be a post and a dig. All right, so that's what this route is right here. So with the post and the dig, let's watch Christian Watson here out of the 2. All right, so he's just going to kind of get upfield and run the post.
Woo, mama, there goes that man.
Now that's the stride length we talk about, right? Like he pulls away from this Arizona Cardinal defender, cuts over the face, actually over the top of that other safety. Great scheme, great play design by Matt LaFleur too, because look how Tucker takes that other guy out of the play right there, bang, right? And that's what opens it up for Christian. But again, Christian stride length is a real thing in the game of football, not just 40 time, but stride length. And he's got those long legs, right? So you got to ask yourself, once again, we're running this through the filter of can Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed make that play? You guys remember Jayden Reed made this play in triple coverage against Rams, right?
Yep.
Same route pretty much. Now, can Matthew Golden 4.29 40? I don't think he has any problem separating right there at all. Especially the way Scoot gives that little outside jab step. Look at this, Tim. Watch him set him right there.
Yep.
Just enough separation.
I love even before the jab step how he's just basically running right at his face, and you can see right here hips are out. It's over. He already dropped. He already dipped the hips and dropped. Gave him the lane. It's over already. And again, yes, I can see Bird doing this. I can see Matthew Golden doing this as well.
Yeah, and I love what you're talking about there too, Tim. Hold him at the point of attack. Now he's got to bend outside. Why is he playing outside here, guys? Because he knows he's got help here. The problem is Tucker just scorched his guy, and he's now going to take this safety help with him. So this is a real easy play, a real easy read for Malik back here. Malik is simply reading this safety, right? If that safety stays deep with Christian Watson when he runs the post, then you're going to look to hammer Tucker Kraft. If this defender fades back on Tucker, then you're checking it down right here to, I'm assuming, another tight end, it looks like.
Yep.
So you're in a 12 personnel.
Looks
so
like
again, the read goes 1, 2, 3 is your progression, right? So you're going to look for Christian first. If that safety clamps, then guess what? You fire it to Christian. You didn't even have to get to the 2, but if you keep your shoulders closed and you stare that safety down and you stare Tucker down and move him with your eyes, that forces that safety to come down, and you got Christian with inside leverage, and it's game over.
Yep. And you also got Romy Rome running the underneath there too. If the protection holds, you can get to your 4th progression. You've got an option there too. Rome looked like he worked open a little bit there as well.
Completely agree. All right. So again, I have no problem saying that Jayden Reed and Matthew Golden could run that route, especially with the scheme that was involved in scheming him open and just allowing you to make a high-low read here. Are we going to throw it high? We're throwing high if the safety clamps. We're going to throw it low if the safety fades, right? It's really that simple.
Yep.
All right, now here's Scoot in the Z, and he's just going to get out here and run a little out route, maybe a little shallower than that. Let's watch it. How many times did we see Matthew Golden work outside, inside out on the college tape? Bang, look at the out route. It's kind of almost like a hitch, too, like a comeback, but it's more of an out. Great hands there at the point of attack. Now, you like that bigger frame, probably an easier completion for somebody like Christian Watson as opposed to a smaller body receiver. But we've seen our receivers work those routes, and I have no reason to think that Matthew Golden can't run that out route too, Tim.
I remember this play vividly, one of the few highlights from this day at Lambeau Field, watching Scoot do his thing. And again, like you said, you watch him work the out, look at him chop down, and then ever so slightly, he's coming back to that football. He's not flattening it out, going to the boundary. He's working back to his quarterback, helping his quarterback out here. And again, another, I don't want to use the word simple because there's nothing super simple in the NFL, but I don't see Matthew Golden struggling with that route. I don't see Jayden Reed struggling with that route either.
Can we just talk about the throw for a second too, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Look, this is not a short out. This is a deep out, guys. Look at this. You're going from roughly, I'm a little bit ahead of there. The ball is at, what is that, Tim? The 37-yard line or the 47-yard line?
I would say, yep.
So you're going from the 47, play fake, under center, and you're going to hammer it to pretty much, what is that now? So this is the 30, we say the 47 was where the ball was at, right? And then you've got basically
the catch is the 27.
Yeah, so you got 10 yards. This is a 20-yard out route. Am I reading this right, Tim?
Looks like it.
Yeah. Maybe
even a little more if you consider where Jordan threw the ball from on the drop back.
Absolutely. Air yards definitely more, but essentially that's a 25-yard out route.
And this is what I'm talking about. Go back a couple clicks here. I mean, if you really look, this is what I talk about with him kind of tailing back to the quarterback right here. DB draped all over him.
Yep.
If you don't work your way back, that little half a step that you're working back, that's the reason you're getting a completion here and not a PBU for the corner.
Yeah. You got to understand, guys, there are a lot of quarterbacks in the league that can't make that throw. That's a 26-yard out route, probably closer to a 30-yard.
Yep.
When you, like you said, with the drop back. And he just put the thing on a line, man.
And great example of what Jordan can do when he's able to have 2 feet under him and really like get that tripod, that mechanics from the ground up that, Aaron Rodgers was talking about. You see him right there, both feet. Look at this. Drive that throw.
Yeah, look at the recoil, too. Don't that look like Favre and Rodgers because he's got a hand in his face? Yeah, that's a hell of a throw. Great catch by Scoot, too. Great hands catch.
Good job, Sean Ryan, holding up just long enough, too, by the way.
Yeah. All right, next play here. They came out, and this is what we would call a tray left 1. All right? What's that mean? 3 targets to the left, okay? It's actually an empty set, so you wouldn't say tray, but you got your running back out wide here, one of these 2 targets here. So you're in 11, but you got Tucker out wide in the 1, and then he's going to cheat over, and they're going to go to kind of a bunch set, almost attached. I call it more of an attached look here. So now you're in tray left, and he's back in the 3, right? And again, focus on Christian, who is down here in the 1. And he's going to run a Z curl. Again, this is the Z, all right? The Z is on the same side of the tight end off the line of scrimmage. The X is on the line of scrimmage opposite the tight end. All right, so here's a little Z curl. Tell me if you think Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed can run this route, whoever's tasked with it this year. Just going to kind of find some space. Let's sit down. I have no problem thinking they can run that route, Tim.
I have no problem thinking that everybody in our wide receiver room could run that route right there. I like Tay Wicks on that route.
Yeah.
I like Malik Heath on that route. I'll take Get Busy Bo Melton on that route. I mean, yeah. Scoot is just like I said, a bigger target there.
Right.
And one would argue too, in a scenario like this, if you get that ball out in time, a guy like Matthew Golden's going to give you yards after the catch down the field. He's going to slip that first tackler.
Yeah. Now, here's the first play we've seen, guys, where I hesitate to go, okay, this would be less than ideal if we had Jayden Reed or Matthew Golden running this stalk route that Christian runs. Now, what's a stalk route? Stalk route's real simple. The receiver is going to ease out here, barely ease out here, as if he's going to block this cornerback. So he's trying to sell to the corner, I'm going to block you, and then he's going to run a fade. All right? So you understand what I'm saying, Tim? He's going to get out here and go, all right, I'm just set up the run block, and then I'm gone. All right? Yeah. Now, with that being said, why is that important? Yeah, Lee went crazy there. Look like John Madden over here drawing on the screen. It's important because what sells this route and sets up this DB is the fact that he knows Christian Watson can block his ass off.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable saying that Jayden Reed can block as good as Christian Watson.
Right.
I darn sure don't feel comfortable saying Matthew Golden can block as good as Christian Watson. So this is the
so
first
they're not going to believe it as much as
Bingo.
You see a guy like Scoot flying at you. You're liable to believe that he might be blocking because you've seen it on tape. Yeah.
So watch the stalk here, right? That guy kicks in. It's actually a backer. Watch, he's just going to stalk him. Nope, we're gone. It's over. Cooked, right?
Beautiful.
So, again, this is the first clip that I go, Christian's really good in that stalk route. So that makes sense. All right, next play. He's going to be playing the F. We're going to run a slot cross. He's going to run a climb. So what Scoot's going to do here is run a climb route, and then we're going to have a dig off the back side of it. So that's what you call slot cross combo. It's a dig, climb. The one runs a dig. The two runs a climb. So once again, we got Christian running the climb route here, or as Coach Lynn was saying, a navigation route. See him split them again, Tim?
Oh, man, beautiful.
Yep. And then, of course, he's going to hold. I love that, too. The DB puts his hand on Christian. Christian uses that to his advantage. He's like, okay, you want to hold me? That's cool. You get a little shrug.
I'm going to take you with me. Yep.
Yeah. Now, here's the issue, though. At this point, I don't like Jordan throwing this ball, but I feel on back-to-back plays, I feel like Christian Watson is way better equipped to make this grab than Jayden Reed and Matthew Golden. Although, if you'll remember when we did Jayden Reed Chalk Talk, he made a similar grab going up in Moss, and I think it was a Philadelphia Eagle player in the playoffs. Yep. But look, he's just throwing it up to Scoot in double coverage, mind you, with a wide-open Tucker Craft underneath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not ideal. But you'll see Christian just go up and make a play. I don't feel as comfortable with Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed making that play as Christian, although I think they can make that play. In terms of the route, though, both of those guys are built for the
They can run the route.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But again, it comes down to I hate to keep saying the same thing, but it's body size. And it's gotta be something, leading credibility to the fact that Jordan did let that ball go. I mean, he's got a big target and Tuck Norris running to the boundary. He could have hammered that. But you got to think, man, he sees Scoot running down there. He's going to put that ball up there and trust Christian to make a play, which is exactly what he does. And to your point about Reed and Golden, yeah, absolutely. They can run that route. They got great hands. They can high point a football, but in traffic deep down the field like this, I like my big body guy better in double coverage for sure.
Same. So we're seeing two plays, a stalk route, and then kind of I want to say a 50-50 ball, but it was really a 150 ball or a 50-100 ball because there was two guys there, right?
Also, that was another great example. We don't have to go back, but if you guys want, I'm sure you guys can watch this back on YouTube. Another great example of the play action fake by Jordan Love. Absolutely sells that run fake, which helps set up that play down the field.
Yeah. So once again, you've seen Jayden Reed in the F. He motions over to the stack look, right? And then Christian's just going to run another climb route. Are you seeing the route that they asked Christian to run the most last year, Tim? Maybe not the most, but what keeps popping up on tape or the explosive catches that Christian had is the climb route, right? Yep. So that's why you got to run it through that filter of, okay, can these guys replace
climbs and nines, baby, climbs and nines.
Look at this poor guy right here, man, swimming. Somebody give a screen grab, tweet it out for me, okay?
Somebody come look at this.
Somebody come look at this. What happened to this guy? Why is he on the ground? All right, screen grab it. Tag me on Twitter at Packers_access. Watch Christian has to make a diving grab and still has time to get back up and run. So again, listen, I don't mean to keep harping on this, but like the Warren Sharp thing we talked about, where they make it sound like Jordan Love was absolutely perfect and the receivers were horrible. I don't remember this in Warren Sharp's article or tweet. It's a bad throw.
Yep.
Christian has to lay out and bail his quarterback out. I'm not trying to dog Jordan. I'm simply saying it goes both ways. So
yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that's what bothers me about people putting articles like that out and they don't back it up with tape. They just cherry pick things, make it sound like the receivers were bad and Jordan was actually elite. No, both have their faults. I think together they're good though, maybe even very good. So
I agree. Great job by Christian, just keeping his eyes on that football too. In making a play. And you got to think Matthew Golden can make that play too, right? I mean, he played at Texas last year. He didn't really have a quarterback throwing him dime pieces that often as well. So, something like this, for example, I would go with, Bird and Matthew Golden able to make that play as well.
I agree. All right. Up next, we got him in the Z. I just put choice question mark because some of these routes, it's almost like what Coach was saying with the navigation. They're just kind of looking for space. Watch Scoot here. I don't know exactly what he's doing. Is he going to be an out and up maybe? Or no, he throws him down, then he just kind of sits. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. Now, listen.
There's the flag. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. There it is.
But it was actually defensive pass interference. Watch 24. Grabs him right there.
That is true.
It's easy to look up and go, man, he just ran over that DB. That's offensive pass interference. Now the DB bear hugged him.
That's smart football by Watson, right? DB engages. And I'm just going to run right through you.
Yep. So I'm thinking it was more of an out route. But, again, it's not a pretty route by Christian, not knowing what it is. It almost looks like an out and up out. I don't think that's in the playbook. So
it almost looked like an out and up, but then he got held. So there was nowhere to go up. He was trying to go up, trying to go vert, and he got grabbed.
Exactly. All right. So on that route there, I think anybody in the NFL could screw that route. You know what I mean? So, all right, now here we go with a go route. And this seems to kind of separate Christian from some of the other guys because, like you were saying, Tim, the big body receiver, that's what he does. That's why they call him the freak, right? So he's playing X on the line of scrimmage, opposite the tight end. They're in a tray left look. You see 3 to the left with one of them being the tight end. You don't specify tray 3. You only specify if it's tray Y flex and then put the number. All right. So let's watch Christian up top. Going to run a go route, which is basically just go deep, baby. So it's a 9 fade. Jordan going to put that thing on him. Great job at the end there.
How appropriate is it that Scoot's number is 9? I just love it because that's pretty much the route we send them on a lot of the time.
9 and climb, right?
Yep.
There you go. So what do you think, Tim? Matthew Golden, Jayden Reed. I'm picking Christian on this route over those two guys.
Me too. Me too.
So what you're noticing is the stalk and the go routes, right? That's what we're seeing.
The physicality up the seam too. A lot of hand fighting, DBs, stride for stride. My head's around, his head's not. I'm going to make the play. That's where I'm with you, Clay. I would defer to Scoot on this type of a look. Scoot or Rome in this type of a look. Reed and Golden, Wicks, I'm sure they can run the route, but I worry about, the physicality there before the catch point with guys like that.
Yeah, and I've seen some people say Christian's got to stay on his feet. And, if they love Jordan, they say Christian's got to stay on his feet and keep running. If they hate Jordan, then they say Jordan's got to lead him out there better. I think both are kind of true.
And if you're me, I'll take the first down in a hell of a play. And
take the first down, get a sip of daddy's soda and smile. Right?
Yep, exactly. We'll take it.
All right, let's go here. Next play. Let's see what we got. All right, another X go. So now we're seeing the go routes come into focus here, right? So I love this look too. Check it out, Tim. We're going quad left. So what you did was you motioned out the running back out wide into a Baylor split. What's a Baylor split? Outside the numbers out here, right? Like closer to the sideline. Now you're saying what's quad left mean, Clayton? 1, 2, 3, 4 targets on the side of the formation. Okay. Why do you do that, Tim? So you can get single coverage on Christian Watson here.
Yep.
And what they're going to do is we're going to run a little X go route. So let's see if he works inside or outside here. And ask yourself, run it through the filter. Can Jayden Reed and or Matthew Golden run this route effectively?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good separation there, but he had to kind of wait on the ball just a touch, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing too: people will see that and bash Jordan and go, "Man, you got to put that ball out there," until he overthrows it, and then you're going, "He overthrows everything." So it's just such a small window, right?
And when you're dealing with a receiver as fast as Christian Watson, right, or Matthew Golden or Jayden Reed for that matter, it can look like a ball's hanging up there too long. It can look like, maybe it's a little underthrown, just because Scoot got out of his break so fast,
Right. Yeah. So again, there's another go route. So we've seen climbs and goes, right? That's what you've seen all over the explosive plays for Christian Watson. You've seen him in the X, you've seen him at the Z, we've seen him play a little F. We know he can play the wing, all of these things that we talk about on a consistent basis. So, Tim, as we get ready to wrap up here and do our giveaway first, Christian Watson, what do you think, man? Do you think we'll have any problems picking up the slack that's going to be left off with Christian Watson being out of the lineup until late October, early November? Can we fill that void with, like we talked about, Savion Williams in the wing from time to time if you want to go to those nasty splits and load the backfield a bit? Can you have Matthew Golden and Jayden Reed work the climb? Jayden Reed is built for the climb, and I feel like Matthew Golden can handle the go.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I agree. And I like the way you put it. Can we fill the void, right? Because you're not going to replace Christian Watson. It's not going to happen. He's a 101. But can we fill the void until he comes back, hopefully ahead of schedule? Hopefully, like I said, somewhere around my birthday in October. That'd be a nice gift to get Scoot back in the lineup. I will tell you this. I'm going to love the day that he does come back and we've got Savion and Matt Golden and we've got Jayden Reed doing what they've been doing all that time, filling the void. And now Scoot comes back into the fold and starts to get his game legs under him. What are these defenses going to do with this wide receiver course? So I do believe that I think Golden and Reed and Savion Williams will pick up the slack for sure.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do a giveaway?
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, so this one's a little bit different, guys. We kind of talked about this earlier in the week. This is attached to, look, you can tell Mandy's been on my account. Do you see that Disney? See that Disney ad right there?
Check your credit card bill, man.
I'm telling you, dude. No doubt about it. All right, so with that being said, this was the autographed Dorsey Levens jersey. So what we did, guys, is we partnered up with My Autism Connection, right? And we donated an autographed Dorsey Levens jersey, really cool piece of memorabilia from pristineauctions.com, certificate of authenticity, all that stuff. And basically said for anybody who donates $5 to the, My Autism Connection here, you'll get entered into the contest one time. So if someone donated $50, guess what? They're entered in 10 times. If they donated $100, they're entered in 20 times. If they donated, $10, they're entered in twice. Okay. So that's how we went about doing this. So what we did here, now you can drop that down. Thank you, Tim. So we got everybody's name in the proper amount of times here. Okay. So I want to give a shout out to Tina Murray, Nick, Clint Cosgrove, Elijah Gwynn, James Jefferson, Larry Cano, Paula Sheridan, Kyle Bessa, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Michael Bates, Mr. United Bates. So
look at Bates, man, doing his thing. Love
dominant, it. Right? Yeah. So everybody's name is in there the proper amount of times. And what we're going to do to fix this here and make it as fair as we can, we're going to hit the shuffle. So somebody in the chat, give me a number between 1 and 10 so we can shuffle this thing. 1 and 10. Bates says, get ready to go. He knows he got his name in the hat, baby. Give me a number. All right.
Get ready to go.
Oh, that's it's usually not that low. Good stuff. Holmes will do it. We'll go 2. All right. That was the first one.
Always 2?
Actually, Holmes said 2. Murph said 6. So they know it ain't rigged. Let's go 8. All right. Here we go. 6 plus 2 is 8. At least in Kentucky it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. We got her shuffled. Let's spin this sucker and give away an autographed Dorsey Levens jersey. You ready, Tim?
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Let's go.
All right, the winner of the Dorsey Levens autographed jersey through my Autism Connection is
Bates.
It's Bates.
It's Bates.
Bates said, "Let me show you how to rig this thing. Let me put my hat in there about 100 times." So
yeah, Bates just donated like 10 grand. That's all you had to do to win.
So Bates is the winner. All right, Bates is obviously in the chat, so we're good. All right, he gets the autographed Dorsey Levens jersey. It almost landed on, I hate to say this because it may upset her, but Tina Murray. Look how close.
Oh, she was so close.
Oh, it was a photo finish right there.
And James too. Shout out to James. Almost
Holmes
had
says rigged. All right, so there you go. That is the winner of the autographed Dorsey Levens jersey. All right, we got a special video from Mary and the good folks over at My Autism Connection. We're going to play this real quick when we get ready to wrap up, Tim. Just a quick little video from them. Crank up the volume. I got the volume all the way up on my end as well as I could, but here they are. And again, appreciate them taking the time to film this video for us. Here we go.
Hi, PTA. Hi, PTA. We love you guys. We're the My Autism Connection group. We have the My Autism.
Love them shorts. American flag.
We just want to say thank you for helping us raise over $500. As you guys can see, I have a little green cheddar, and then Corey has Dorsey Levens, who I know you guys are currently doing a sign gift jersey right now, and we appreciate your guys' support. So you want to say anything to me?
Hello, I'm Joey.
Yes.
I just want to say that, you know, we all appreciate everything that you've done for Mac. You know, your support means a lot to us very much.
Okay. Hi, you guys know me. I'm Miss Mary in the chat room from the Mac and Cheese account. We just want to shout out people, United Bates especially. He donated $10 to you guys to say hi to us in chat. We appreciate it. We also want to say thank you for keeping the chat friendly, because I know a lot of us have talked about the chat in our Discord calls. It's amazing. We appreciate you guys. No. I just want to say one more smoothie. I know you're going to make us smoothies if I can stand. That's always I was.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.
Awesome. Good
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Listen, I just want to say thank you to My Autism Connection for giving us an avenue to just do something to kind of help out. It's been a blast getting to know everybody too. It's been awesome chatting with Mary, and getting to meet Mary at the draft was awesome, and several of her friends that she brought up to introduce to us. So what I would like to do is commit to every July of every year that we're doing this silly little show. I'd like to run that same type of giveaway. We'll obviously do a different piece of memorabilia, but just kind of make it an annual thing, if that's okay with Mac. I think that'd be awesome to do that, because it was fun, man. It was awesome seeing the interaction too, and definitely shout out, like I said, to everybody who donated. You guys are awesome. So
Absolutely, and we appreciate Mac for supporting the pod as well.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of love from them as well, and you know, we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. Well, we're going to get out of here. We will be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. All right. For PTA Live. We're going to talk about if we get it worked up, we're going to do Edgerrin Cooper Chalk Talk tomorrow, boys.
What? Let's go.
It is
Keep
so
it frosty, baby.
It's sick, man. Like I said, I could have done 40 plays, and I tried to get it under 20. And I think we were over 20 if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's going to be a blast. So what we'll do is kind of dive into a little bit of Edgerrin Cooper tomorrow in terms of the type of year he had, and give you guys a little quick brief article, and then we'll jump right into the Edgerrin Cooper Chalk Talk. So it's going to be a blast. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Again, shout out to Trucker John. We love you, buddy. You stay strong out there. And man, you got my number. You text me if you need anything, man. You text me if you need anything at all. If you get in trouble with the cops up there, I'll come bail you out. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Tim, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Clay. Love it.
All right, everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. We love you too, Mary. Thank you so much. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.